Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 9th episode of the Locker Rooms and Legends podcast. For those of you watching, you can see there's a new face among us.
Wait,
That's sus, bro.
So, I'm going to save the introduction for him. First, I'm going to say, those of you who are watching, you can see most of us are dressed in a theme. So for me,
2022 MVP.
Oh.
NL MVP.
me and Luke here are joined on this side, and then we have Luke and our new guest over there, and then we have our buddy Box in the middle here. I'm gonna explain why I am dressed the way I am, and I'm gonna hand it to them and let them explain why they're dressed the way they are. So I'm dressed this way because my Rams just won the bowl. They just won a championship, so I'm celebrating. I'm happy. Can we clap it up for Rams?
Hey, come on. Over there too.
But as I look at them over there, I'm a little confused.
I'm really confused because what color are the Dodgers, Matt?
Pretty sure they're blue.
They are, aren't they? I don't know if fans can see, but I see a brown hat over there. I don't know why.
Oh.
Can you care to explain that?
Custom made. The team made it for me.
What I'm more interested in is
Dave made it himself.
is that why we're wearing Dodger gear? Aren't we a little shamed? I mean,
Wait, can we introduce?
When's the last time they've won a championship?
Pretty sure it was in the 80s.
Oh my
I'm
God!
pretty sure.
So I'm gonna hand it over to Bobby in the brown hat.
I was
So
gonna say, can we introduce?
why
the
are
guest?
we wearing our Dodger gear? And feel free to introduce yourself as well.
Well, I'm Bobby. I'm an avid Locker Rooms and Legends podcast listener.
Can we talk about that?
There, our first special guest. Give it up for him. Give it up for him. Special
I was
guest.
introduced in the first podcast as our Washington football team at the time fan.
Now what are they?
Now Commanders.
Oh.
Not the biggest fan of it. But the reason we are wearing championship gear is because the Dodgers had the hardest championship ring
That's hot.
in modern
Can
history.
you tell
On
me
the
what it looks
stove.
like? Can you tell me what it looks like?
We went.
What?
Because doesn't it have little Mickey Mouse ears on it?
We actually went 32 years. 32-year drought.
Does it-
Just to prove everyone we're better than everyone, we did it in the hardest season.
Oh, hardest.
Do the rings have a little button that go, uh-huh?
Hey. I'm
Not
acting like Goofy over there, alright? There's no Mickey Mouse ring, alright? I'm acting like Goofy, alright?
Okay.
You're right. There's no ring.
Oh.
There's no ring.
There is no.
Oh.
hey, it's a
'Cause-
lot shinier than the Rams. I'll tell you that.
Oh, sure it is. Okay, so question, why is it so much harder if the season was only 60 games? 102 less games than normal.
37%, you're right? 37%. of the
Yeah.
season.
Okay.
I like the math. There we go.
That's not wrong.
My thought on it.
This guy just shit out of nowhere.
My thought
Is
on
it
it.
wrong, actually?
Let me see.
Yeah, pull it up.
You know,
Fuck this
I
guy.
like
This
I like
math
this.
is wrong.
While they look into this, I just want to, for the viewers' sake, so they know what we're arguing right now.
Yeah.
This side of the table, me and Luke are arguing
Come on, pal.
That's 37%.
that the
Suck me, Luke.
Los Angeles Dodgers ring in the COVID times is not a real ring.
It's not.
So that's what we're here for. We're here to argue that the
In
2020
case I got
World
lost in
Series ring
translation.
is
What
legitimate.
I'm saying, the season before, the season after, every season before mattered more than that one.
Okay, so
It's the least impactful
question,
ever in all history.
just random question.
Yes.
Who do you think is the greatest team of all time? Like season, just single season.
Oh God.
Which off the top of your head.
Is it any sport? Is it any
No,
sport?
baseball.
Baseball. Okay, baseball. Okay.
Probably Mike Trout's MVP season. I don't know which one. But
No, like you think the Angels are the best team that year.
oh God, no.
So people argue 1927 Yankees. 1927 Yankees was
Don't know
probably
why the 1927 Yankees got brought up, but
because
When the mechanics played?
Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, Yogi Berra, great team.
one of the greatest teams.
Mickey Mantle, come on, my fault.
You call that
Mickey.
one of the
My fault, Mickey.
you call that one of the greatest. You call that one of the greatest seasons of all
He's
time.
rolling in his grave right
I
now.
guess.
You know how many playoff wins they needed in that one?
How many?
They just had to win the World Series that year. They only had to win the World Series that year. And people will call that the greatest regular season. People will, or you know, the last time a National League team went back to back. 1975-1976 season, Cincinnati Reds. People will call that team.
I think 76, 77.
No, sorry, I looked it up. I made sure.
My fault. My
So
fault.
You looked it up, guys.
Made sure. 75-76. That team went back to back. They only had to play 10 playoff games. You know how many they won? They won 7.
So you're saying they didn't have to play regular season? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm just wait. How many wins did the Dodgers have to have? in this postseason in 2020.
I don't have that number off the top of my head. but
They
I
had to
know
win
it was-
13,
they
the
had
most
13.
in postseason history. The
Legitimate
Dodgers had
amount.
13 wins. They played 18 games. That is the most playoff wins by a team in postseason history.
The math is right on that one.
But
It
we
is.
think.
It
What were you
is.
gonna say?
That's a good argument. That's a good argument. But can you tell me how impactful do you think it is for MLB teams to play outside of their division?
I honestly.
to play other competition
Wait,
outside.
okay.
I'm
The
just
Okay.
Orioles. You know what? I'm pissed we didn't play the Orioles.
Say
I'm pissed
our
we didn't play the Orioles.
our the way the MLB works, it's you play one division each year. So like this year we're playing the AL Central.
The 2020 this year.
Yeah, 2022 coming up. We're playing the AL Central. So Twins, Indians, Guardians.
I always forgot the Guardians. I was looking at
Twins,
the
Guardians, White
What the hell
Sox,
since
Royals,
when?
Tigers.
Yep.
We're playing those 5. We don't play the Yankees, Red Sox. We don't play AL East. We don't play AL West, except for the Angels because they always do that. But
In this season, in the 160 games. we don't play?
162 games, we play the NL for the most part, and then each AL Central team twice.
So how many teams are in each division? Or how many teams are in
5.
the
Five. There's five.
So that would be
So what he's trying to say is we don't usually go over to the fucking other side of the pond anyways.
so all I'm saying
What about
is
the AL?
so that's a total of I looked it up. It's about 19 to 20 divisional games for each team. Well, in your division, that's 80. That's almost half. Do you know how many divisional games they played in that 60 game season? 40. They didn't play outside their division. Is what I'm saying. That's all they played.
It's because of the COVID season. It was inconvenient. Like it was an
It
inconvenience
was.
thing. It wasn't a.
But
It
can't
wasn't
you-
we're not going to make them play against each other because that would be unfair. No, it was just an inconvenience thing.
So what I'm saying is so 40 of those games were against the division.
No, you're right. And I would argue
It's
that
just-
I would argue that the AL East is stacked. I think the AL East is stacked.
That's
but
tough
I think
to win. It's
I
tough
think
to
the other stacked division is the NL West.
Yeah,
You have the Giants, the Padres, and the
I
Dodgers.
can't really argue that, except the Giants.
and I'll get.
Giants-
We'll
There's only
start.
Padres. Only Padres.
We'll say the NL East now because they blew the Mets just blew up their entire team. Just signed a ton of players. Like they're going to be great. The Braves, we'll see what they do. Freddie's going to be a Dodger, so they might trade for
Freddie
Matt
first.
Olson. Don't might trade for Matt Olson. That's a great replacement. But the Phillies are big on Castellanos right now. So Harper,
That doesn't matter.
Castellanos.
That doesn't matter.
The NL East is a good.
So what we're saying is,
division,
what
I'd
I'm
say.
saying
This
is,
episode is going a lot deeper than I thought it was
that's what
going.
I'm saying. What I'm saying is, yes, I think you're right. We didn't play outside of our division, but I think like those teams that we are playing, they weren't like maybe the Rockies were terrible. The Giants just were bad that year.
They were.
But
No, they were actually pretty like.
Can I get the?
They
can
were
I get
close.
The,
I'll get the schedule.
It's
up.
hard.
I gotta get
They-
the
they
schedule.
were-
Fox, take it on.
So what I'm trying to get is
The NL West
What-
standings.
what I would-
60 games in 40 goals against their division. That just doesn't happen. That's literally 20 games that we're on. We're not in their division.
What were the other 20?
I don't. There's probably three.
I remember we played AL West. So we played the Astros, Angels, A's.
It was a COVID year, so yeah, like he said, it's probably travel. You play teams on the West Coast. The
So
teams
now-
on the
so
East
now
Coast. The teams on the East Coast played the teams on the East
You're
Coast.
feeding into the idea that it's a different season.
What do you mean?
You're saying like, oh, I mean, it's COVID season. You know, we understand. It's
Well, they played shorter games. They played less games.
Side note,
Exactly.
Side note: the only teams that are above 500 in that division that year were just the Padres and the Dodgers. That's it.
But the Giants were fighting with the Brewers to be the wild card team, though.
So I'm just gonna
I don't
put
remember
things
that.
out there blatantly. We don't believe the ring counts.
Yeah.
We don't.
Because they play, what, 60 games?
60 games.
Yeah.
And so without fans, and what, was it a neutral site as well?
Neutral side of the
Texas.
That makes it even
Yeah, they were in Arlington
So
at the
that's our
Rangers new
argument.
stadium. But
Against it, what is your argument
So
for your?
my rebuttal to the Texas, so I'll let him take over the why empty stadium and why playing in Texas actually made it harder for the Dodgers.
okay, so as a franchise in any sport, you want to be the home team. You want to be one seed. You want the advantage of having your fans behind you. You want to have the advantage of just your home ballpark, what you're used to. They had to go play in Arlington while the Astros and the A's were playing in LA. They were playing at Dodger Stadium while we were in Arlington for no reason. I hate that happened, but that park has the lowest rate of home runs in the entire league. Dead ball there. The ball is dead in Arlington.
Dodgers are home run hitters. Okay, but the thing is, also that's not the point. If the Dodgers, I would like to argue. I mean, I am biased, but I would like to argue that
What do you mean?
we played
I thought you
the
were
Rays
Boston.
that year, right?
Yep.
We played the
1-6 games. 1-6
we
games.
played the Rays that year in the
It's
World Series, right?
New England fan, by the way.
Oh,
So
my fault. Rhode
so-
Island fan.
you guys see all the memes about the Trop?
Yep.
About oh my God, how packed the Trop is. No one goes to Rays games. No one goes to Rays games.
I feel like it would have been 50-50 Dodger fans, Rays fans in the Trop.
So my thing is
if it was a
if we
if
got
it
to
was
play
a
in LA
regular
and we got to
season.
play in Tampa, if it was actually the home games for each team, we're getting the Dodgers.
I
Are
feel
getting.
like we're skipping over the important part of the season. It's
But you brought that. You
we
brought
haven't
up
talked
the
about the
Texas
60
part.
games.
I know you brought up the Texas part. That's
That
fine.
leads to the ones.
Okay, so
I
leads
haven't-
to the
Right, so
higher
here's my
seed.
thing.
I have an argument for that.
What's your argument for it, Bob?
I hear an argument I hear all the time is that the regular season is just to get you into the playoffs. That's all it serves. The purpose it serves. Why does it matter how many games it is then? Because I feel like
Because injuries.
the best team, regardless, is going to make it.
Because
I think more games.
Here's my thing.
More games attributes to the better team.
Why I'm gonna argue with him is okay. Well, two things. So I think I'm being biased again. 2020 Dodgers were just the best team that year, and if you would have done 60 games or 600 games, 60 games or 600 games, the Dodgers are getting first. Okay, fair. Dodgers are getting first in their division. Dodgers are winning first in their division no matter what. I
I
think.
just whispered some important information. We'll hold on for that.
But you're gonna say the Giants won this year. That was the
No,
first
no,
time.
no,
That was their best
no,
record
that's not
ever. Okay. And go.
So Matt, who did the Dodgers beat in the National League Championship, Matt? Do you know?
That season?
Yeah. Do you know that?
I actually don't.
It was
The
the,
Rays.
it was the Atlanta Braves.
The Braves.
The reigning World Series champions, the Atlanta Braves, yes.
Yes.
Who did they lose to? Who did they lose to this year, Matt? In a full regular season,
Oh my
Matt.
gosh, that's what
Who did they
they're going to
lose?
crush us on?
Who did they lose, Matt?
Was it the team with the guy with the pearls on his neck?
Yep, it was
Jock
the
Pop?
Atlanta Braves. So what I'm saying is,
So Jock
maybe
is a difference maker.
I
So
don't know.
Jock is a difference
Jock
maker.
is a difference maker. is what I'm
All I'm
hearing.
saying is, it just seems like
Fair?
the Dodgers are able to beat the Braves when there's only 60 games in the regular season, and it's a shorter season, and then, but then when it's a full season, why can't the Dodgers win?
That
Why?
So here's my
Why?
here's my thing.
Why haven't they won again? If they're so
That was-
good,
I
if
can't believe
they're
that was
so-
your crushing argument.
if they're so good,
Wait, Matt,
why
let him go
haven't
then,
they
let him go
won
then.
besides that
I'll
season?
bring up my I'll bring in my Lake show into this as well. To me, the Lakers and Dodger rings, they would have been valified if they came the next season and won. But since they came in and they didn't,
So they had to go
look
back to
great,
back.
I feel
Fox.
like yes.
That's-
I didn't
Can
really
you hear on the
count.
definition of valify for me?
But not even that. I don't care about that. Back to back. When was the last time that teams don't go back to back?
That's
That's
tough.
just
I
not-
was-
So
to
the
do.
COVID years
I-
because they don't have.
I have
So
I have my argument for your take why we didn't beat the Braves this year. Max Muncy hurt.
Oh, interesting.
Max Scherzer,
Wait, what game was he hurt in?
he was hurt.
In the season.
He
Wait,
didn't
wait,
play
wait,
at the end
but
of the
which
season.
game? Which game?
And
He was
he didn't
like
play- he didn't play in the
161.
series.
Oh, 161.
Oh,
That's
shit.
crazy. They didn't play 161st game in this
So
season.
then your whole team
Okay.
should have been healthy. You should have been fully healthy to play.
Injuries are really part of the game. If you're gonna say injuries
No,
are,
my thing is
I'm just saying-
you're trying to take it. My point is that so your team's fully healthy. Max Muncy's there, so then your whole Atlanta Braves team should be there. So you're actually best team. No one's hurt.
Injuries
That's
are part
not
of the game.
best.
But that's
Yes,
But
injuries
you're
are
saying
part of the
best
game in
on
a
best.
60-game season too.
But we're
No,
saying
I was
what we're saying is
162.
yeah, best on best. That's great. But we don't get that in baseball. We have
We don't
we
get
have
any
we have
sport.
160 game seasons where people get hurt.
See, I don't like 162 games to begin with.
Okay,
So, but that's baseball. That is baseball. So, injuries is a big factor. And to say the injuries is a reason, it's like okay, exactly. There was no injuries because 100 less games. I mean,
okay.
Best
there's
on
less
best.
injuries.
Example: Dustin May last year got injured within, I'd say, the first 20 to 30 games.
He got hurt right away.
AC or what's it?
my cousin.
Tommy John.
Tommy John.
He had Tommy John. Injuries in baseball are not the same as in any other sport.
Weird thing is, Matt, who are the Braves missing in this postseason, Matt? Weren't they missing a pretty good player?
Okay.
Arguably
they
a top 5 player in
were.
baseball.
They were missing one of the top
That's
players in
right.
baseball. Oh, I forgot about that. So,
He was in
The
at
Dodgers
the
are
beginning
missing like
of the
their whole
season.
team this year, bro.
We
I
had
don't believe
okay,
it.
no Muncy, no Scherzer.
No Howard.
Turner got hurt in the series. No Bauer.
Scherzer pitched.
He dead arm. He had dead arm. He didn't pitch. Bueller pitched on 3 games rest twice.
We had 3 pitchers.
I watched Scherzer.
We
pitch.
had Tony Gonsolin
And see,
pitching.
now what I'm saying is
No
that's-
Kirsch.
What
Sorry.
I'm saying is that's
My fault.
Okay.
My fault, Kirsch.
What I'm saying is that's
I thought
part
we were
of.
talking about postseason. I thought we were talking about relevant postseason players.
Oh,
He's a World Series ringer.
He is. I forgot
That's
about the one.
Wait, he played in the 80s? I didn't know that.
I just want them to look up his stats.
So what I'm saying is, injuries, and you're saying guys are getting tired. That's just part of 162 games, and I feel like with 60 games, that just it doesn't qualify as a normal MLB season, and it shouldn't qualify as an actual ring because injuries and tired. That's just part of the game.
So my
Exactly.
thing is, I would agree. Wait. I would agree if like so. I would agree if we're going up, the Dodgers are going up, and they're playing against the fucking Baltimore. Like I said earlier, the Baltimore Orioles. If the Dodgers would have played the Baltimore Orioles in the World Series, I would have been like, you know what, you guys are right.
How did they end up playing the Rays?
The Rays are the best
Rays are-
team
Rays
in the
are up 3-0.
postseason.
Rays were good.
Up 3-0, and they almost.
They almost
They
blew. They almost
yeah.
blew.
No,
They were up
people,
3-0.
do you not? What was that one guy's name that was fucking on?
Randy
Randy.
Rosarena
Playoff
had one
Randy.
of the best playoff series I've ever seen in
Him
my
and
life.
Seager. Him and Seager.
That guy
Him and
was
Seager.
disgusting.
He was
In the
Wait,
raw.
was this in the
World
2020
Series.
season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
World
So
Series.
it doesn't really.
Yeah, it doesn't really count.
Oh my goodness. So
I'm not a big baseball guy, but I couldn't name one guy on that Rays team.
I can name every guy in the starting lineup. So
That was a good lineup they had.
Didn't they?
I don't think,
Did they get first
regardless.
this year or no?
Huh.
Didn't they get first this year or no? The Rays?
Yeah, they were first in the AL East.
They won
They-
first in the AL East.
And a lot of same guys came back.
But
And-
my thing is so the Dodgers went and they played the Brewers, good ball team.
Yelich.
They played they played the Padres,
Yelich.
good ball team. They played the Braves.
No. Padres, great for what they had. They had Machado, Tatis, Hosmer, Tommy Pham, Trent Grisham, all of them healthy. They didn't have any injuries on
I
that
still
team.
think Manny Machado's right. I think they're gonna win a ring before the Dodgers do.
Okay, Braves.
Has been since the 80s.
They
Braves were stacked.
They played the Braves and then they played the Rays.
Braves with Acuna, by the way.
Those four
Everyone
those
else.
four
Because I
teams
know that
that
was
they played
super
against
big.
are not
Don't forget Ozuna.
scrubs.
Ozuna
They
had
don't
a great
play
year
against
that
year.
scrubs. and play- Like what my point is that you say the 60 games was too short, and my thing is that the teams that were supposed to make it made it. It's not like the bum teams made it. The same thing happened. The good teams made it, and the bad teams didn't. The fucking 2007 Red Sox, they swept the Colorado Rockies. Oh, am I gonna say that ring is doesn't matter?
Well, they played 162 games, so no, that one still counts.
That,
My-
that one's good. That one checks
That one's
out.
good.
My thing is that the
That one doesn't
Rockies
have to Mickey
sucked.
Mouse
The
it.
Rockies sucked, and they just went off in 2007, and they go and get swept by the Red Sox.
That's
No, it's
how
not about-
baseball-
I'm not-
So my thing is, do I say that the Red Sox ring
No,
doesn't
I'm
count
not
because they
talking
play a
about-
shitty
I'm
team?
not talking about teams. I'm not talking about teams. I'm talking about the fact of the whole season as a whole.
Everyone had 60 games.
Okay,
Everyone played 60
question.
games.
I got a question.
But did every other MLB season have 60 games?
I got a question.
Hey,
Every
hey,
yes,
stop,
yes,
stop,
every
stop,
other
stop,
MLB
you know,
season
no,
did
no,
have 60 games.
Stop. I don't count the Rams season. I don't count the Rams season.
I don't
They
like
had
that.
17
I don't like
games.
that.
They had 17
It was
games.
instead of 16.
There's
They had
16.
one more game though.
It doesn't matter. It's not like any other year ever. So I don't want to count Mickey Mouse ring. Mickey Mouse ring. It's a stupid argument because they added
I
another
really
game.
don't want to get into that one because that one doesn't make any
Oh,
sense.
wait, Luke, how many games are going to be in next season and every season after?
So we're not gonna.
Oh,
No,
you mean-
So we're not gonna count.
oh,
So which one do you
so-
want to count? Which half do you want to count? The first.
When are we
50 or
going to
the
see a
50?
60-game MLB season again?
So how about this? I'll just put my argument so you can understand it.
Okay.
60 games is less than 162, so I don't think. Oh, also, it's the only season in the last, I don't know, probably century to have under 100 games. So I don't think it counts.
Okay.
That's why.
Question.
Okay.
Question.
Quick question. This is opposed to you guys. So every single year, no matter what sport it is, you guys agree to playing the amount of games that's played that year, right? So for every single year, for the MLB, it's been written, you do 162 no matter what.
Yeah.
This season, for their COVID year, they could have canceled the whole. They were saying, we're going to cancel the season, we're not going to play at all.
They should have.
They should have. They should have. That's your argument, right? But every single team had a say in whether they should play 60 games or not. So
They
one
need to
team
make
just said
money.
no.
They need to make money.
They
But
need
they
to make
all
money.
did. They
But
all
at the end of
said
the day,
yes.
all I'm saying
So
is
we don't
an
count
agreement.
it?
So
We
all I'm
don't
saying
count
is
it?
No,
every
yeah,
team,
you don't
every
count
team.
that.
Okay, but
Yeah,
my thing
come
is this: every team agreed to the rules that were set within the 60-game season.
Okay.
Then you play a bigger postseason. You do 3 extra games in the wild card game.
For no reason.
So if we want to bring up the Rams, I'll bring them up. A lot of people don't like a cup. in his stats compared to Calvin Johnson if he would have broken the record.
Okay.
And that's going to be an argument we're going to be dealing with for a long time now because it's an extra game. So I feel like that is exactly what this is. 60 games, it was a one-time thing. This isn't an anomaly. This isn't a every year kind of thing. This isn't like, oh, they had one game in the NFL season for the next 20 years. There was one season of 60 games. What I'm saying is if you take that, you compare it to a random World Series back in 2012, I feel like the one in 2012 matters more because they played the full season.
But
What
that's
I
my
wonder,
question.
they did play the full season. It was 60. That was the
Now-
full season.
That's not a full season.
It
That's-
was
that's
the
my
full
question.
season for the circumstances
The
they
Dodgers
have.
said-
What do you
everyone
do?
teams said we're
They
gonna play
okay.
games.
To say right after the World Series,
Mhm.
everyone had the same rules. They played the same thing, same game of baseball. Do you just not count it?
That's what I was gonna say.
Like,
Everyone agreed to it.
Let's say the
Everyone
Rangers
agreed
won.
to
Let's
it.
say the Rangers won. Like, will we just be like, or doesn't even matter during the season? Are we just gonna be like, guys, even though you guys are playing your hearts out, well, it doesn't really matter.
That's a good point. I would say
Yeah, that's
honestly,
fucking so
hey, hey,
stupid.
if the Rays would have won,
But-
if the Rays would have won, are we not calling them Mickey Mouse ring winners?
Oh, I
anyway?
definitely am.
I don't
So then,
I wouldn't have
it wouldn't have mattered.
It would have been my goddamn Angels. I'm probably sitting
But
there
they-
saying,
everyone-
hell
every
yeah,
team-
Angels, man. No.
But
It
every
doesn't
team
matter.
agreed to this.
Because-
For
Every
me,
team agreed to
for
this.
me,
No, I'm
it's
just
the
saying,
same.
I'm saying, if this is my Angels, you Dodger fans don't let me hear the end of it and say, oh, that's the only way you guys can win.
So this
No,
happens
I'm
for
not
any
saying
team
that
that
ever.
wins. But this happens for
Because-
any team that wins that year.
If you guys won
Oh, yeah, of
13
course, I
playoff
agree.
games,
I-
I wouldn't have talked shit if you guys won 13 playoff games.
Just talk to box. Literally, what I'm saying is it's the whole season. I'm not picking out the Dodgers. It's the whole season.
I'm saying the key points that everyone agreed to it.
And my
so no
thing is
matter
that like
who
you're gonna
won.
say that like
We
that's what I'm
would've
saying.
had
You
the
want to
same-
tell
Okay,
me
but
that
hey,
the
question.
teams don't- Yeah.
Did a team in the '96 season agree to a 60-game season 20 years down the road?
But
Did they agree that season would have the same weight as their world championship?
Well,
That's
they-
what I'm
Wait,
saying.
that was not a good question. What do you mean? That was-
So what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
a team that played the '96 World Series.
Yep.
Did they know there'd be a 60-game season
There
20
wasn't
years down the
COVID in
road?
20 years. They
This
know
is
that.
completely different.
See what I'm saying?
Completely different.
Is now it's like, oh well, my World Series weighs just as much as theirs because they played 100 less games than me.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
the agreement to
They
it.
played
The
more
agreement
close
to
to
it.
Did the teams back then agree to it? That's what I'm saying.
Well,
What's
in history,
that was set in
hey, wait,
stone.
pause. Pull up the 96. Pull up the
Wait,
96.
So what I'm saying is, in
how many?
history,
And my thing is, how many playoff games did they win?
What?
Is
Yeah.
this-
What's the hardest part of what's the hardest part of the season and postseason combined? Like, what's the hardest part of it?
well, I want to finish my point.
Okay.
It's the same argument with the cup and the added game and the stats are going to change and everything. Now it's like, well, I had to play 162 games and go win it in the playoffs. And my World Series is way less than
It's
theirs who
it's
only
the
played
same.
60
It's
games.
the same.
Why? I don't
So
know.
I don't get.
I just feel like
For
it just-
me, the only thing I can argue legitimacy for is cheating. So, obviously, biased fan, yeah, okay. 2017 is not as... The 2020 World Series is more impactful and meaningful, and it has more, like, validity than the 2017.
no.
2017 Astros cheated, dog, and everyone they got caught for it.
They literally only bank trash cans.
So you're-
cheat.
So you're saying...
I don't want to get into
Theirs is
cheating.
more
I don't want to
valid.
get into the cheating argument, but
No, because I feel like it
But
plays
me-
a factor. I just want to know whose
Is
is
the
more
Astros
valid.
more valid? Yes, very clearly.
they played a full season.
Very
They played a full regular MLB season.
And they
So,
played less.
Kid fans at
postseason
home?
games.
Oh shit. They
played-
played home and road games?
But
Whoa, what's-
okay, back to
Makes
my
it
other
easier
question.
for the
What's
Astros.
the hardest part of the season? Would you say?
But they played that part of the season. This wasn't.
No, wait,
No,
an
no,
actual
no, no.
season.
What's the hardest part of the season?
I get your argument. I will say postseason.
Okay. How many more postseason games did they have to play than a normal postseason?
I don't know.
They played 18.
18 postseason games.
They played. Wait,
They had
they played in the NLCS. They played 7 days
I
straight.
think
in
it's
a
so
seven-game
Seven
the impact
straight
that
games.
162 games
So
will
wait,
have
so-
on the postseason.
So are you saying that puts a lot of wear and tear on the team, playing a lot of games?
I'm
yes,
saying-
because that's what broke us this year.
Short season.
I agree.
The short season, you're playing a lot more than you had to. You're
You're-
trying to make up for what they
Yes,
agreed
exactly. You're playing more. You're playing seven straight baseball games. Imagine waking up every morning in your little hotel that you have to stay in because you're not at home with your fans. You know, with your family. Your family couldn't even be there. Like for a lot of the players. So you wake up, go play a baseball game. Go to bed, go play a baseball game. I play one baseball game. I'm not a professional yet.
to.
I'm no professional,
Yeah.
but I go out and play a baseball game. My arm's dead the next day.
the point is, yeah, the Dodgers come back. They win
7
3
straight
games.
games against the Atlanta Braves, and they came back down 3-1 and dropped 19 or 20. What was it? 19 runs on them one game.
I'm pretty sure they're able to do that because they played 100 less games in the regular.
But they were doing it in the worst ballpark for hitting home runs in the entire MLB. Imagine scoring 19 runs in one game in the worst ballpark to hit a home run.
So
That's not even a season. That's not even half a season. 100
It doesn't matter.
games? So
But my
naturally,
argument is
they
if
play a
you
little
could-
tournament at the end of 60 games.
My
for
argument
fun.
is if you were like, dude, I
A
already
big
told you
tournament,
this. If
bigger
you-
than any playoffs.
If the
ever.
Rockies were in it and the fucking Baltimore Orioles were in it, then I'd be like, you're
Dude,
right.
that's the thing.
But the
I
teams
already
made it.
said it. I'm not bringing up the
The
teams.
Rays were a good
I'm
team.
bringing up
Bring
They
up
were
the
a good
teams.
team.
Bring
Rays-
up the teams. Bring up the. Why do you want to discredit the
I don't
teams?
need to.
The bad teams.
I'm bringing
didn't.
up the whole season.
We're
The
just
bad
starting the
teams didn't
season.
make it. It'd be
I'm
like,
just-
hey,
Okay,
you only
yeah,
got
we'll
one
go
sport.
over every team right now.
Yeah,
That the
right,
Dodgers
Can I
have
say
been-
something? Can I say
No,
something?
I don't want to go. In 160 games, the good teams change a lot.
No.
Teams get
Yes,
hot.
they
do. You know who
teams
made it?
get cold. It happens all
Yeah,
the time.
teams do that at the
We
beginning
saw
of the season
100
too.
less games than normal.
No.
There's
Teams
ass
and
teams-
players.
There's teams that go on 20-game win streaks and they don't make.
Sure,
the
I'm
playoffs.
telling you,
Right,
after
at
the
the end of
guys
the
at
season,
All-Star
against
break,
the
things
Cardinals. The
change.
Cardinals got hot at the end of the year.
Cardinals did
You're
that.
right.
And barely made the playoffs. Yes, but you know who made the playoffs last year, or in 2020? The
So-
Cardinals.
So, question: remember when the Washington Nationals won the World Series? You remember when they beat the
I don't.
Dodgers?
I can't
Do you
recall.
remember that
This is
one?
a good
I don't
argument.
remember
This is
that
a
year.
good argument.
That was a fluke year.
What I'm
That was
saying,
Lamar's MVP year.
Mookie effect. That's all I gotta
with
say.
that season, they would not have made the postseason if it was a 60-game season. They wouldn't.
It's
have.
just-
They wouldn't have had enough time to recover. But guess what they did? They went and beat the cheaters, won the World Series. So it's like,
Fluke year.
okay.
Lamar's
I know you're
MVP.
joking.
No,
Don't.
the Washington year was
can't
so
say that's a
fluke.
fluke.
Dream
That's,
season,
I
bro.
think that's one of the best rings
But
ever.
you
That
can't,
national
you can't call that
thing,
season
that's
a
one of
fluke.
the best
It's
years.
the COVID
It's
season.
like
Lamar's 36 and 6
Bro.
touchdown season. You guys call a fluke
Hey,
season?
it was.
I'm gonna call that a fluke
What-
season.
what do you-
that was the dream season for the Nats.
What do you call
I
the
agree.
Panthers' Cam Newton MVP season where he took them
We're
to
getting a
the
little off topic here.
Super
No,
Bowl?
no,
No, it's not.
Hey,
It's the
hey,
same
hey,
argument.
Hey, who beat the Angels last time the Angels made
The Royals,
playoffs?
they
Do you
shit on
think
them.
They would have
The
made
Royals
the playoffs
would've
in
made
that
the playoffs.
60-game
They
season.
wouldn't have.
Yes.
They won the whole thing.
No. They made the wild card.
Yes.
They won the
Okay.
whole thing.
The Padres would have made the 60 game this year because they had the best
If they
record
played
in
60
the
games
NL
this
West.
season, Padres probably would have won the whole thing.
No.
No.
Probably would have.
No.
They
Because
coming out this year
playoffs,
for this year?
Oh,
there's
no.
playoff players and then there's playoff teams. Like there's teams that
Hey,
make the
hey,
playoffs and then there's
Rogers,
teams that...
Rogers is like the Padres.
Yep.
Okay, we
Alright?
can't compare sports.
So
So
question
That's
You
exactly
can.
what I just did.
And, okay,
Rogers is the Padres.
Second point, I'm a Miami Heat fan. The Lakers bubble ring, whatever you want to call it, was so fucking hard.
still doesn't count.
I was gonna bring that into
It counts. And I think it counts more than other rings.
The bubble was hard to play in.
Imagine playing in front of a big old screen full of people on a Zoom call. You know how fucking ridiculous that is?
That was pretty funny. So,
Bro.
Wait,
so normal season, right? 60 games, right? Who's the MVP that season? Anyone know?
It was-
I'll pull it
Oh
up.
shit!
It was Jose Abreu for the
It's
AL.
probably like no one.
Oh,
it's probably
Jose-
no one
And
cares.
Freddie Freeman?
Jose Abreu and
And Freddie Freeman.
yeah, it was Freeman.
Let me see.
Future Dodger in a couple
So,
hours.
I'm just gonna use my stats knowledge here, and naturally, when
Two
you
of the
have
best
a,
first basemen in the league won MVP.
when you
It
have
was. It was.
when you have a smaller sample size, that's when the stats become less reliable. If you have less,
No,
I agree.
I
I
can,
agree with
okay,
that.
I
I
can
agree with that. I
understand
agree with
your
that.
point behind, oh, the MVPs are stupid that year. Like, T.J. Warren and Damian Lillard
Well,
won
actually-
bubble MVPs. Like, that doesn't matter.
Actually, I don't mind the MVPs because they played the whole season, so it's like they won the MVP.
Wait, so that
of
is the whole season. So it's the whole season.
They won the MVP. Of
No,
that
you
season.
said the whole season.
I'm not saying, and I'm not saying at all that they didn't play.
that whole season.
Yeah, so it's a whole season. They went and played the
Of
whole
that-
season.
Which they
played
agreed
the whole
to,
season.
which they agreed
They all
to.
agreed to that. They
Of
won their
that
ring.
whole season.
And then
Okay.
they won their ring.
I just don't like
You
that
said
we
whole
can compare that season to other seasons and say like it weighs more or just as much.
Agreed.
Okay, so.
I love this agreed to thing.
Okay, so.
important, though.
Hey, guys, do you want to not make money this season? No, I think I'll
Okay.
play. I think I'll
Hypothetical.
Okay, you guys, it
Hold
doesn't
up, I
matter
got a
if you
hypothetical.
win. It doesn't matter
You
if
guys
you
are
win.
big football guys. Seahawks Broncos, worst Super Bowl ever. Say the NFL had a 9-game season next season.
Wouldn't count it.
Mahomes,
Wouldn't count it.
I wouldn't count it.
Mahomes versus. I'm not a big football guy,
Put
but
Cowboys.
Rodgers,
Put Cowboys.
put
in there, Put
Cowboys.
Cowboys. in there.
For the Cowboys.
That's who they
okay, Chiefs versus Cowboys. Sure, you're not counting it.
No. 9 games?
I mean, for Trav,
Imagine.
for our bet,
Okay,
I might have to count it.
I guess it won't count it.
That's the only way I'm
That's
counting.
imagine.
That's good. I don't count it.
Imagine they had to play 2 more playoff games. Would you count it?
That's a lot of playoff.
Here, you know what? Here's what I gathered from listening to you guys. This is all I'll say. If they added 2 more playoff games, if they added 2 more playoff games, they would play 9 game season. I would say, I don't count it amongst the other rings, but I say, you know what? That's got its spot up there as a unique season. Like, that was pretty cool. You know, the Dodgers
So
won-
hardest playoffs ever.
Let me finish. The Dodgers finished
Interesting.
with how many more playoff games? They ended up winning?
13.
13.
They
Out of
played-
18.
They played
18.
18
They
games.
win?
So they played
They
5
won,
more
yeah, they
games.
won.
They need to win 5 more games than they normally do. Is that what you're saying?
I have no clue.
Well, they had so they had to win 2
Four,
against the
four.
Brewers for some reason. They did a 2-win wild card, which
Surprised
they've
those
never
two.
done. So they had to do 2 there,
3 against the Padres.
3 against the Padres, so
I have
5,
that.
7 against 4 against the Braves.
Yeah.
They had to win.
6 games with the Rays, 7 games with the Braves, so that's 13. Then you have 3 over the Padres, so that makes 16. Then they beat
The Brewers
the
twice.
Brewers twice, so make
For
18. They won
me-
18. 18 out of the
For
possible
me, it
games
kind
they
of makes
played.
me look at the Laker one as well, and I'm like, those are unique wins. That's good for those
I think the
teams.
Lakers one's more about.
But at the end of
Me
the
too.
day,
Played the
if
most.
you ask me how many rings does LeBron have,
He's 3.
it's all of them
4.
except for
My bad,
that.
he's 4. My bad.
Oh!
He's 4. LeBron is 4.
Oh my
He did
God!
LeBron
Okay,
got 3.
I think the
How many
Lakers
rings does
one's
Ben Kershaw
tough.
have? He doesn't have
1.
Okay,
How
let
many
me say
rings
this.
does
Let me say
Corsi
this.
have yet?
No,
He didn't
he's
tell you
one.
Seager doesn't have
And
it.
World Series MVP.
Let me say this.
And World Series
And
MVP.
About the
Yeah.
Lakers, Lakers played 71 games. They usually play 82. I think that's more valid than what they're trying to go off of the Dodgers. They played 11 less games, and they played more
But they
postseason
all
games
played
in
on
the bubble.
same court in a bubble.
Oh, I like
It's
that.
just-
And that's
I like that.
That's
I like
crappy
I
that.
for
don't
the
care.
one seed.
I don't care.
So the
how much-
percentage is like they played literally 11 less
I
games.
don't care how much harder it was. I don't care about the circumstances.
okay. That
Was
matters though.
It wasn't a normal season, so I'm not going to count it. It's
And
not the
other-
same as every season
They played
before.
11 less
It's not the same
games.
as every season after.
Okay, but they didn't just play 11 less games. Like, oh, they just played 11 less games. It was, hey, let's gonna take a 2-month break, and I guess we'll start a season
Well,
back
That's
up.
tough though. That's hard to win.
Hey, well,
It's tough.
COVID's not going to happen every year. And guess what? They still want a winner every
That's why I'm
year.
just not going to count it.
No, you need
That's
a winner
why I
every year.
just don't count.
You need a winner every year. They played. Then they
I
should
just
have
don't-
played.
As a
They should
Dodger
have
fan,
played.
the Dodgers
I
did not
agree.
count.
I agree they just shouldn't have played.
But they did.
They
They all
did.
agreed to it.
But they're greedy, so they're going to play.
But what I'm saying is, if they're playing and they're like, hey guys, this doesn't matter, then they're not going to try.
Exactly.
Okay.
They're not going to risk their body.
It's
They're not going to
still
go and put their whole out
You're
there.
acting-
I let them
Wait,
care
but
up
you're
until
acting-
they won, and now I
but
get to say they
You're acting like the Dodgers. You're acting like the players in the what's it called won't play. They were on strike, bro. They were like, fuck it, we'll miss spring training. We don't give a fuck. We'll miss April. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Okay. So there's less spring training games this year. Less time to
They
warm
knew
up.
they were going to play.
Less time to warm up.
No, but I'm saying, yeah, there's less.
I'm
Does
gonna-
this,
I'm gonna
does
give-
this year count?
I'm gonna
Wait.
give you one number. 162.
Are they starting on?
So if they play
They're-
157 and they don't play 160, so they play 157.
No, I got
does
a
it
decent,
count?
I got a
Does it
decent
count?
threshold box. I got over 100. I got 100 games.
So, okay.
That's my
Okay. I wanna make
That's
sure-
stupid.
So if they played 99 games, it wouldn't have counted.
I've been on the fence if I would have said no.
See, that's stupid. That's
You
like,
gotta have
Because
there's
if
no line
he's-
somewhere.
you gotta have the threshold.
160
Just like my
to
boxing argument that I
60.
won in the
Got it,
30-mile race.
got
So
it.
going,
Got
so,
him
okay,
on
I'll say
Yeah.
this. So I'll say
Yeah,
this.
you're
I
right.
think though you can't put the Lakers in this argument because they played 11 less games. So that goes into your argument about, if you go
The
over
Lakers is a
100
different
games.
argument.
No, I'm saying
They went
it's.
to a little
I'm saying it's-
bubble, and they played all in the
But I'm saying you can't
court.
count the Lakers.
No
You can't count the
fans.
Lakers.
Dude, it was like they're
They
playing
played-
an AAU tournament. That's what I feel like.
That's hard on NBA guys. That's
I'm not saying
like
it's not
7
hard.
straight
Okay.
I'm
games of
saying it's
basketball.
not like
What-
any, it's not like any
Ultimately, I want to convey my overall argument.
Let's
on
go Lakers
both
out.
of
Let's
these.
stick to the Dodgers.
What I'm
Let's
gonna
stick to the
say,
Dodgers.
what I'm gonna say right now, you guys are very heavily avoiding the 1 seed home field advantage part of this.
Ultimately, here's the thing. I'm looking at more of like a lot wider.
He just doesn't
lens.
want to count it. Here's like the
Here's
season.
the thing. I'm looking at a lot wider.
The widest lens he can open.
I feel like we haven't even gotten that point
There.
because we haven't gotten past the 60 game versus 162 game season. So there hasn't really been an argument against
It
that.
counts both.
My main thing is I'm not arguing about the seeds or the teams or oh my god they had to play these teams or oh what I'm arguing is that this season you cannot compare to other seasons.
I can.
You can't because it's
Okay.
102 less games. So what I'm saying is, it just sucks for a guy who played 162 games, then won the World Series, to say, "Oh, your World Series counts just as much as theirs. Who
What's-
only won 60 games in the regular season."
What's the first question you ask? What happened in the year of 2020 for baseball? Who won? Who won the World Series? That's the
my first question is, where did they play? Where they get that Mickey ring?
first
What was that?
first question
in a tough
for.
stadium where they didn't have fans. But me and Bobby were there. Let's go, Kurt! Come on!
I would have been
waving my blue towel in the ravine. Come on!
face, shirt off. Okay.
I think it's completely different.
My argument.
But if we want to get into teams, what I'll bring up is, why haven't the Dodgers won any more?
They made it 2017 against the cheating Astros. They made it 2018.
So-
Who had cheating allegations against them? Never.
We won't talk about that.
Came
They
to
won that
fruition.
year. Hey, they
I-
won that
okay,
year.
I'm
Red
going to
Sox
say-
took that one home.
I'm going to say the Red Sox were the better team that year. Not 2017.
Oh, it wasn't even close.
The
No,
Red Sox were the better
were
team there.
way better.
As-
2019, we got bounced in the first round by the eventual. We've lost every year to the World Series champion until 2020.
That's a fair argument.
So what I want to say is I'm a Rams fan,
Oh, really?
and Box is a Saints fan. Oh, and Box will bring up the no call, which is fair. It's fair. It's a no call,
I mean,
whatever.
he does it.
But then I'll bring up. Did you have a chance to win after?
I know, but I agree with you.
Did
on
you have a
that,
chance
though.
to win?
I agree with
What
you.
do you
on
mean?
that, though.
As in the next season?
Didn't you have a game 7 at home where Astros couldn't cheat and you guys didn't win?
I mean, it was.
I know it's not a great
It
argument.
shouldn't have
but-
gone a game. It shouldn't have
So
gone
see,
to 7
I know
games.
that argument, but I'm just saying, you had a chance.
That-
It shouldn't have gone to 7 games at all.
Chance.
Was it the
We
game
were
three that
we
was
were
tough?
literally obliterating the Astros in their home field
Yeah,
too.
that was such a. Were
Game
you watching
three?
that game?
Wait, was it
You
game
watched
3 or
Bro.
game 5? Game 3 or
We
game 5?
scored like
Dude.
12 runs that
It
game.
was so crazy.
I just don't really understand why we're losing this argument so bad. We need to go to another season.
Well, because it's the same.
It's not the same.
Seasons count. I'm comparing seasons
You're talking
because
teams.
they weigh the same to me.
We're talking teams.
Hey,
You know,
hey.
they don't win.
Seasons weigh the same.
Well, all of them except for
Everyone has a World
I
Series
don't
champion,
really
no?
care about that season.
So my,
Except
you know what
for
I'm saying?
Tom.
Hey, you know what? Watch this. You know what, Matt? Hey guys, they played 60 games.
Doesn't count.
We can't change it. That's it. Let's call it. That's it, guys. That's
Hey,
it. No.
World Series over.
That's not how.
Hey, sorry, guys.
They played the most
Sure, man.
postseason games.
Sure.
No, that's not. They played the most postseason games. They had to play 7 straight games in the NLCS. They had to play their fucking rivals, the Padres. They fucking. It
Hey,
was way
they're
fucking harder.
rival. Wait,
It
so
was
I gotta
way
ask.
fucking harder
Go on, go on.
to fucking play this season. You're right. They played divisional games. You know what? You're right. They had to stay in their division. Let's jump other sport real quick. You know what? As a Patriots fan, you know what team I hated playing the most? The shitty ass Miami Dolphins. And they were no fucking good. You know why? Because divisional games are fucking hard.
Because they know how to play against their opponent.
40 out of
Because they
60
face
of
them
those games, we're
most
playing
of the
against
game.
a team that knows us, bro. That's a hard. That's like playing your brother.
They need to leave this art. They need to leave
No, I got-
our current
I'm gonna go back to the
argument a
argument.
lot.
Let me go back to the
Who
argument.
cares? I don't really get it.
There's no-
Matthew football.
we're
it
using-
has to
You
do
know
with
how me-
Box
Let me
has
go back to the
something.
argument. Let me go back to the argument.
You don't know.
So you're
Well,
telling me if
playoffs.
you play, so let's say we're back in 2020, they announced that they're playing 60 games. Are you telling me, hey, you know what? Let's just play the regular season games. No champion this year. Let's just get the money that we
Let's
need.
get back to this argument.
What would be
I
the
would
like,
just
so-
say-
I'm saying the same thing.
I'm gonna say
So you're saying that there shouldn't be a
just-
World Series champion?
from jump.
Like,
But they did, so it has to count.
no, but
'cause
would you,
they
so if
did.
you're an owner, are you saying, okay,
Guess what? You're not
we-
the commissioner. They did it, so we have to count it. Whether we
And what
want to
I'm
or not.
saying-
Whether I want to or not. We
What I'm
have to
saying,
count it.
dude, is every season before and every season after, it's not gonna have.
We can make the joke there's an asterisk, but there actually is not one.
Oh, there's a giant ass.
Nope. Right here there is not
What
one.
about 2017 then?
There's not one.
Oh, on Baseball Reference, there's not one.
Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go where there is one?
That really convinces me.
MLB memes? Where are you gonna go where there is one?
I lost.
Hey,
Where are you gonna
and
go where there is one?
I haven't even brought up this argument yet. I'm a Miami Heat fan. So, I had to witness them lose in the bubble. They lost.
Okay.
They did.
You're saying that.
They lost, and I'm
Either way.
counting the Lakers ring. If they would have won, I would have counted it. Regardless of what teams are playing, I even disagree with you. If the Baltimore Orioles and the Colorado Rockies made it, I would have counted it.
No, and I wouldn't have.
I
If-
still wouldn't.
I simply
Like
don't
when he was
care.
saying,
I
like,
just-
he was
I
saying,
simply have said this multiple times. I don't care about the teams.
I
It could have been
do.
the best two teams.
I think
in
it's the
MLB.
most important
I do.
part
I
of
think
the
if there were
argument.
9 games, and we were watching, if there were 9 NFL games, is what I'm talking about, and we were watching the Jets against the fucking Seahawks this year, I'd be like, 9 years, I'd be like, bro, what the fuck?
This Super Bowl sucks. It still counts.
Isn't that one?
No, I would question legitimacy if there were 9 games and it was
Oh, I
Jets
wouldn't.
Seahawks. I'd be like,
I wouldn't.
you would question me.
Hey,
When
who was
you're
the
not
best team? Who was the best team that year?
When I hear
The Jets.
But if there were 9 games and it was the Chiefs Packers, I'd be like,
Hey, Texans in the Super Bowl. They were the best team that year. The best team deserves to win, and if the best team won, the best team is always the winner.
Yeah, wait, you at least say the Dodgers are the best team that year? No, or no?
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
Why does it not matter?
Give them something.
I'm immovable on my argument, and you guys have not gone against my argument of
Because
the whole season doesn't matter. You guys
can't-
want to bring
you
But
can't
what's
even
the
race
goal?
it.
What's the goal after a season? What's the goal?
after a season?
Or like
The goal
after
is to
the
win a
regular
ring.
season? What's the
The
goal?
goal is to win a ring.
And they did.
They did.
What did they do? They won.
They did.
Hey, sorry, Kurt. Sorry,
Season-
Justin.
Season
Sorry, Kenley.
Simply
You gotta give your rings back because Matt and Luke said they don't
I
count.
want to give them back, but they just don't matter as much.
They do.
But they matter more. To me, they matter more. If the Rays would have won, it's a harder championship. It's harder for everyone. Everyone had the same shitty circumstances,
Agreed.
and we were the best team out of the shitty
See,
circumstances.
but that's my thing is then I go to, well, the season before, they didn't have those circumstances, and I think that season mattered more. So that's literally what I just come back with. And then the season after, we went back to normal MLB circumstances, and it just made
Who's
that
repeated in the MLB in the last fucking 10 years?
Well, I'm not even getting to the repeating part, but that's how I
That's
always
what you're
thought.
asking. You're asking the Dodgers to repeat.
That
The
is-
Dodgers
that
won
is-
it
that
20
is
years
how
ago.
I-
repeat.
That is how I
You're
always
asking
thought.
them to
1.5 wins.
You're asking
I'm
them to
giving
repeat.
1.5.
Technically, you're asking them to repeat.
I'm giving 1.5.
To me, though.
But I'm sticking by my
Then you're being
argument of
stupid.
it just
Not really.
the whole
Yes.
season is just incomparable to all the other seasons. So it's just
If
What?
they,
Because
all the years,
of-
if they won in 2020, won all the year quotes, they won. Then you're asking them for what? You want
I
to
would've
do
validated
before or
it.
after?
I would've
That's
validated
back to
their
back,
wins.
Matt.
Okay,
That's
question.
back to back.
If
That's what I'm trying to say.
Are you saying like if the Dodgers won instead of the Braves this year, do both rings like
Yeah,
or
they
did the
would
same
count
meaning?
that.
Because it's like okay, well
so I just feel
they won 2020, but we need them to prove themselves 2021.
pretty much. That's exactly how I feel.
But
so,
they did.
I don't agree
the
at
reason
all.
why
But they did.
the reason why is because I'm sitting here and it's like, okay, they won this ring, it's cool, but like they couldn't do it before. Let's see if they can do it after. And then they did.
I mean they've made it every year except and they've lost to the World Series champion
and
every
then
year.
Then they didn't win, and I'm just like, so can they not win a regular season? Is this the only time they can win? So I'm saying is if it gets your argument's gonna get really bad in like 10 years.
They've won their
What
division the
I'm
last 10
saying,
years.
what I'm
except for
saying,
this
what I'm
last year.
saying is if it's like 10 years down the road and they haven't won another one, it's like, wow, that's the only one they won. It's like, does that one really count? You guys are probably gonna say that too. So in 10 years from now, the argument's just gonna help us.
I'm gonna still say it's the hardest ring I've watched, and I've
So
watched
it
almost every
seems that
World
we're
Series
not
recently.
really going anywhere. So who wants to close this out?
Fox has got it.
Fox has got.
I'll close this out
Okay.
because I don't feel like moving a mic to his face. But thanks for joining us again tonight. Things got a little heated, more than they probably.
I'm not heated. I just love my Dodgers team.
Hell yeah.
That's all it
Almost
is.
Doyers. Oh yeah.
Almost Doyers.
We're done with the argument.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Well, what do I always say, guys? Just remember, guys. Think outside the box.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go.